Hello, everybody, and welcome back into Anno 1800. This is episode number 4, and I am so excited to be here. It is so cool to see people on YouTube enjoying this series. I've been able to record it mostly as I go. I usually record 2 or 3 episodes, then release them, then come back. So I've been able to see your reactions to the first couple episodes, which is just amazing. Welcome back into Calamari Cove. This used to be called Alpager, but since we're getting Calamari here and the name kind of rolled off the tongue, I just want to start customizing my cities a little bit here. Also, for realism, I think down in Calamari Cove, I want to build a few farming houses and kind of do a little trade route between everything. But what we're going to do now is we need to get these vegetables and get these calamari up into Cloverdale here, so that we can work on the seafood stew. Somewhere in here, we have our seafood stew production going. Is it this building here? No, that's a cheese factory. Where is the seafood stew? I found the seafood stew here. It needs potatoes, which we can provide, but we ended last episode needing to set up a trade route for the vegetables and the calamari. So let's do that right now. If you've never set up a trade route before, these first ones are going to be pretty simple. They will get more complicated with time. We're coming to the red tide here. So the red tide is going to be the boat we're going to use. I'm going to open the trade route menu. And since this is our first trade route, I'm going to go over a few things. We are going to be setting up hundreds of trade routes by the time this game is over. By the time we finish the final episode, it'll be hundreds and hundreds, maybe not hundreds and hundreds, but definitely more than 100 trade routes. So we're going to call this trade route what I need. So this will be calamari and vegetables. And that's what we're going to start doing here. It's not assigned to a group yet. So we're going to create a new group. We'll ignore the fire for now. All right, we'll talk about the groups in a second. We're going to start the trade route here in Calamari Cove, and we're going to end it in Cloverdale. So really basic one island to one island trade route here. In Calamari Cove, we're going to load 100 vegetables and unload it in Cloverdale. We're also going to unload 100 calamari. Now I'm just going to go here and type that in. Makes it easier. I know for a fact that this will be enough, right? That every time we come to do this, will be less than 100 of each that we're transporting, just with the distance between the islands. But this will get more complicated over time. When we get to Calamari Cove, I just want to pick up whatever's there. So I'm going to click discard cargo. If we get to Cloverdale and we have too much, I just want to honestly just want them to throw it into the ocean and come back and get more. I don't want to be waiting to drop anything off on this trade route. So this is really simple. What I'm talking about, though, is if I then decide I want to build farmers on Calamari Cove, then on this boat, I can load up in Cloverdale some shops and some work clothes and those things farmers really enjoy to make sure those farmers are doing really well. So I think that's a good start for us there. And that's going to start getting our seafood stew underway. You'll notice the boat, it's going to turn back around in a second. Let's speed this up a bit just so I can show you. So it's going to come here. It's going to load. Now there's a lot of things that affect the loading time. It has to wait for a spot. So there's one spot here. It loads up the vegetables, loads up the calamari, and then it starts bringing it in. It's going to take a minute to leave, but once it leaves, it'll head to Cloverdale, and we'll start bringing it in. We'll see if we can catch it in Cloverdale. Oh, you can see the trade route here as well. See if we can catch it dropping off in Cloverdale. We're a little bit short on fish, so I'll get another fishery going. That should be awesome. And we have 0 workers. Now, if we do this seafood stew, is that instead of the bread? This seafood stew is instead of the bread. So if we go to the bread here, this will give us 3 workers per house and 5 coins. That'll be wonderful. I can be pretty into that. I think, though, no matter what, we want to increase the amount of workers we have going on here. I really like this little thing we have going on with the church, the pub, the marketplace. This is wonderful. I think, though, we can probably increase some of these houses a little bit. We'll just do another couple of rows of workers here, just so we can start, building up our artisan population and really being able to start diving into some of the gameplay content. We are going to be building some ships here, so I want to get some sailmakers online. The sailmakers take 50 workers, and we only really even have 50 right now. So I'm just going to toss one sailmaker kind of in the middle here. That's going to take wool. So let's make sure we have enough wool to accommodate all of that. We'll come back into our menu here. We're going to come to agricultural products. We no longer have enough wool, which is all good. So if I have enough bricks, which I do, instead of building another sheep farm, I'm just going to build another silo there. And that'll be enough wool for what we're doing. So now we're getting some weapons in and we're getting some sails in. So that'll be enough to start building some ships in the near future. I'm not sure how much more seafood stew I want to build, but I want to fill out these workers until we're kind of at the maximum seafood stew kind of output for now. And I just want to see how many workers that is. So if we come in here and we come to seafood stew, we're getting closer to the max. Everything else workers need, I can do pretty easily. And even the bread, I know we're doing this, like the bread is a little bit silly for us to do the seafood stew. I'm just trying to play with the new game content a little bit. So there's still a lot more we can do with the seafood stew that we have. So let's do that. And then we'll finally come back in here and we'll see one more time. Are we kind of approaching? Yeah, that's kind of good. That's a good amount. There's a little bit of margin there. So we're getting the maximum amount for the seafood stew, which means we can come back in and do the rest of this. We need a little more fish, a few more work clothes, but otherwise we can then get started on soap and beer, which we'll want to do right away. So we'll get another fishery, and then we'll need a few more work clothes as well. We know for a fact that means we're going to want another sheep farm, and then we'll come in and get another work clothes. So we're building our work clothes right here. We've kind of, walled ourselves in here with this, which is okay. It's not my favorite thing, but we'll just copy this in here for now. So that's all good. Everything's kind of happening there, so that'll be perfect. And I think we're all good for now. Schnapps is close, but now we're getting some workers in. Are the seafood stews kicking up? They are. So do we have enough potatoes, I guess is my next question. It's really interesting to play this game. We do have enough potatoes because you're spending so much time literally in this screen just making sure everything is all good. If you can believe it, this game released without this statistics screen, which is absolutely nutty. So everything is good there. We can now get the next part of our production underway, and that will be the soap. So let's come and set up a quick soap production. We're going to need pigs, which we don't have yet, do we? This is a dairy farm, so we're going to need pigs. So we'll move over here to our farming area. We'll just set up some pigs. We can't get industrial pig farms yet, so we'll just do the old normie one. So let's set some of these up. I think I'm just going to set them up using the same system I have been using. I think this one will be fine. And then I want to leave a little bit of room on the sides for silos when we decide to go for silos here. So I think this will be okay.
Ruins behind.
Okay, the fire left ruins. Let's check it out. I'm trying to get soap going, man. Can we stop over here? Oh my goodness. So if I take the U key here and upgrade, and then I shift, it'll upgrade all these ones that were broken. So that's okay.
They help me a lot.
Thanks, Benti. I also love the fire service, but right now I'm trying to... No, that's Corbacero. Right now I'm trying to get some soap underway here. So I want to make sure everything is good. So this will be fine. Let's get another warehouse going. I think we'll probably need 2. So that's okay. So we'll start with... I'm probably going to need all 4 of these. We have tons of farmers. Let's just get 4 pig farms going. Yeah, we have enough farmers for it. We know we're going to need it anyway. We'll probably build some sausages here as well. So that will be all good. We have 800 workers now that the seafood stew is coming in, which is awesome. We're still making a ton of cash, which means we might be able to find a couple of cool items. If we send... Do we have any boats here in... Yeah, we have our flagship. That's pretty rad, though. Let's see if there's any cool items for sale. The reason why we decided to build guns, weapons here in Cloverdale is we didn't in Corbacero, and I want to make sure the AI doesn't feel like they can bully us in this game. They definitely will, especially Willy. Even if you have 1-star AI, they will eventually come for you. So I want to make sure we are building a couple of defenses. There's a few different defense options here. I don't need to build a ton. We will be taking some of these to Manola to make sure we're defending our major islands as well. These ones here don't cost influence yet. They just cost a little bit of money. The maintenance is pretty negligible, but I want to make sure we are at least starting to build our defenses here, or else the AI will get the wrong impression of us as a weak leader, and I don't want them to do that. Pigs are coming in. We have enough workers to do one of these like large rendering works and large soap factories, which I think is interesting. And so I think we'll try it. Let's just do a large rendering work and a large soap factory and see what happens here. So if I go for the large rendering work, it's 120, and it's making tallow. So if I go into the tallow, how much are we getting here? 4. All right, and the pigs, do we have enough pigs going? We have exactly enough pigs going, so that's perfect. And then we'll come into the soap factory, and that'll be an absolute metric poop load of soap, which is great because soap, oh my God, we still don't even have enough tallow. That's okay, Yeah, this is all good. We have enough soap. So I think what we can do instead is we can actually go to the large soap factory and we can decrease the soap production by 20%, make everything a little bit happier, and then see what that does to the tallow. Is that better? That's closer. That's better. But I think that'll be fine for now. The other option too is just to make more pig farms and to get more silos going and just produce that amount of soap. When we have the Docklands, I think that's a good idea. But until we have the Docklands, let's just leave it as is for now. Soap's good. Next up is beer. I think I want to do the same thing here where I'm just going to use the large production facilities and then see how that goes. I will be spending some influence every time it wants to increase the needs of our people. It's just not very helpful. But I think if I come in here, one industrial malt house does every 5 seconds. That's maybe a bit too much right now. One normal malt house does every 30 seconds. So if I come into a normal malt house,
Ceasefire has ended.
it takes 2 normal malt houses to do 1 large brewery. I think that's a little more reasonable for us at the moment. So I'll come in here, we'll do 2 normal malt houses, and then we'll do 1 large brewery. So that should be okay. We'll just slide that in right there. We can get this warehouse going as well. So 2 normal malt houses will be worth a large brewery. Now we need hops we need more wheat, which we can get pretty easily now that we're making a ton of dung. But we're also going to need hops, and we have the fertility. So let's start getting some hops down. To get a large brewery, we're going to need a metric poop load of hops. And so I think maybe this might be enough. It's a lot of hops, and we have a lot of farmers, so it's okay. 1 minute 30 into 15 is so much. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just going to take a lot of hops. Let's get 6 going. I want to save my silos for the wheat farms, because the wheat farms, they take up a little more room than the hop farms. And so I think that might be more worth it. But we'll come in there and we'll get the hops. We'll get the 2 malt houses going. Do we have the materials for that? We certainly do. We'll get the large brewery going, and then we'll check out all of our inputs and see where we're missing. We're missing in wheat just a little bit, which isn't terrible. We also have tons of dung. We have the exact right amount of hops, so that was good. And then the malt in the brewery is perfectly fine, so that's great. And so if we're missing on wheat a little bit, I think it's time to use some of that dung in these grain farms here. Hops is absolutely perfect, so that's going great. And now we're producing hopefully enough beer for the Empire for a little while. Yeah, barely. You know, these large breweries aren't overly effective. The large schnapps distilleries are incredible. They're making 16 schnapps, and we're using each one of those 16 schnapps, which is really, really funny. But now we got soap and beer underway, and will that push us towards artisans? Yeah, we just need a school. That beer is going to give us a lot of happiness. It's going to give us some coins. But the only thing we're missing here is a school. So let's see if we can come in here and put a school down. And let's make sure it looks really nice. The school's a little bit big, which is okay. Is there a central location the school can go? I think what I'm going to do is really simple. I think I'm just going to move these 4 houses here. I want things to look natural, right? Naturally, like you decide, hey, I need a school for my workers. Where can that school fit? Where can it go? And I think somewhere like right here is perfect. So I think the school goes in here. So that's beautiful. Is there another skin for the school? Can I make the school look cooler? I don't think I can. I don't know what the skin change button is. But then we're going to come into our beauty building menu here, and let's just see if there's anything I can put down that would be interesting. There's a decorative entrance we can put to the school here. Does that look okay? What does this do? That's probably the wrong way, isn't it? Yeah, that looks better. And then is there like a hedge we can go? Oh my God, look at that. It's a Christmassy. Holy smokes, everyone. It's a Christmassy thing going on here. Okay, I don't know how much I like that, but that's cute, I suppose. That's really funny. Let's come in here to this little park area we've got going on. We'll make sure things look nice over here. We'll get a couple of fountains in. We'll get a memorial statue in. I think that looks a little nice. Let's come to our brick roads here and get some brick roads in. I don't know exactly what we need, but I think that looks okay. And then we can fill in the rest with just some normal modest park, quaint park, some poplars. Yeah, let's get some poplars in here. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I think this just looks a little bit better than not having anything there at all. I don't know if I like this Christmassy thing, but it's something. It's something. People can't say I'm not building as I go here. No good items as of yet, and I'm not really willing to re-roll a whole bunch, so we'll kind of just leave that for now. If some good items come up, we'll buy them. If not, they don't, and that's okay as well. I'm not going to show you the statistics screen every single time I come in here, because obviously that'll just make you bored. But a good thing to do is I know for a fact that I can check multiple things at the same time, so I wanted to check that. You can see we're making way more than enough vegetables that we need. We're coming in here. We're making enough seafood stew, but this is a good way to check. Like calamari is a good example. Like, do I have enough calamari coming in? I don't have enough calamari coming in. And so potatoes, I do have enough potatoes coming in. So I know I need to go and check my calamari, but I can check it against both islands instead of just one, which is incredible. And I think I can only fit one more calamari in before we have to start making this its own little village, which I actually think I might want to do a little bit. I think Calamari Cove would be a lot cooler if it did have its own little thing going on. So I'm going to take 100 of each building resource. and a couple of steel beams. We'll come down to Calamari Cove, and I'm actually going to build some houses here and then bring in the schnapps and the work clothes for the farmers from this island. While that's happening, though, it is time to start building our artisans. So in terms of a layout here, our World's Fair is going to end up going here. So that's something you might not know about yet, but that's just where it's going later. Our palace is probably going to go somewhere in the middle, would be ideal. I think our artisan workforce kind of cutting into this area might be interesting. Engineers and investors over in this area might be interesting. So if I come over here, I want to leave a little bit of room for this to expand. We're not going to be able to fit all our production in here. But for a start, I want to say like this might be a good starting artisan area. And then this is a good starting investor. But do I want the artisans to come down? Like you have your farmers and workers over here. This is the area they're working. And then we move down, artisans over here. And the area they're working. I don't know exactly how I want to do that. I also want to leave room for the train tracks to become... Okay. I think I've made some choices here. We'll do this as a starting artisan area. And then if we don't like it, we can move it later. So for the artisans, we know we need a few things. We know we're going to need a variety theater, so we'll just plop one of those down. We know we're going to need a church and a school. So we can come in here and just plop one of these down as well. I just want to get everything we know we're going to need. And that way we can make sure that everything is there. Let's go back to Corbacero real quick because we have artisans at Corbacero and we can check what they need here.
Like seawater.
So they need a variety theater. They need a school. They're going to need a university, which we haven't unlocked yet. That's okay. We also have a quest here. Can I fulfill this quest? Sometimes they give legendary items. Oh, is this the school here? Yeah, let's take a photo of the school. Let's make sure it's good. I don't know if the quality of the photo has any bearing on the item you get or the reward, but there's one legendary item specifically you can get from quests where sewing machine factories give you advanced weapons and steam motors. Okay, well, you know, dressmaker's not terrible, but not my favorite. So we're gonna have to leave room for a university, but we can't even place that yet, which is totally fine. So we are going to come in here. And then we can make like a little central area out of the variety theater, the church, and the school. And so let's make it, I don't want to make it too much, but I do want to make sure that everything looks good. I want to come around the variety theater in each case, and I want to connect it on the sides. But I want to leave a little bit room here for some shrubbery to go in. We'll start with shrubbery just to have something down. I think this is a good little area. Same with the school. I think connecting it to the variety theater here might be interesting. So we'll come all the way around the school. And then we'll connect it to the variety theater here. And I think this might be a good spot for some garden benches. We'll chuck some of those in. Maybe a newsstand. And then maybe some pathway ornaments. Does that look cool? I don't know if this looks cool or not, but we'll see, I suppose. I'm just doing my best here to do something interesting. I think the school would obviously look cooler if we did one of these. And so we'll come down here and connect that. So that feels okay. And then here we'll just put some mature trees. Does this increase the attractiveness of my island to do this? I have no idea. Perfect, but this will be our little artisan area. Now, before I commit the resources to actually doing this, let's start putting some artisan houses down.
The fire is out of control.
Is there another fire? What is going on over here? Oh my god, can we stop this nonsense? Resident quest? I really want to do these quests because I want the legendary items. Plantains and fish oil, do we already have that? We must already have that. No? Do we not have that? Fish oil. We got 37, so it's the plantains? Yeah, it's the plantains we don't have, so we have 6 plantains. I need 14. Okay, well, I can fix this problem really quick. Let's get another plantain farm going. We're going to need the plantain farm anyway, so that's okay. We'll just get another one going. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's going there. And that quest will be hand-inable shortly. So, while that's going, we'll come back to, not Corbacero. As much as I love Corbacero, we're coming back here. We're putting down some more artisan houses. I think I'm doing okay here. I'm trying to make it so these neighborhoods are like a little bit distinct and don't feel like an exact copy-paste. So they're still built in grid-like, but I don't think that this feels like too similar, right? Like I think it feels like there's a bunch of different things going on here. which feels okay. So let's go back to Manola and deal with that fire. Are we okay? Is everyone okay? Upgrade tool, shift all these. That's fine. Is our dude ready to hand in the quest yet? We surely are getting more plantains now.
Good to take
Yeah, he's getting there. He's
slowly.
getting there soon. Now we just start connecting all these with roads. Yeah, I feel like you can see here that the neighborhoods feel distinctive-ish. Like it doesn't feel like an exact copy and paste of each neighborhood, which I kind of like. Everything feels a little bit different. There's a natural space in here for some decoration, which is cool. This is coming, or this is a really weird one. I don't know if I like that specifically. But as I'm drawing these roads around, just kind of connecting everything, I feel better about what we've done here. I feel like this, it doesn't give this the exact sense that someone just copy and pasted a pre-existing thing. It gives a sense that this is a unique, you know, chapter happening here. So that's fine. Let's build the school. We're going to eat the cost of it for a little bit here. And then we'll build the variety theater. We can't because we don't have windows yet. That's okay. Can I bring windows in from...
Did you finish?
Oh, we did. We did absolutely. A legendary item? Legendary item that's useful. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me, my guy.
Kept your word.
Industrial thresher. That is not terrible. At 20% production in a lumberjack hut's not terrible for these parts, but it's not exactly what I wanted either, so that's okay. Let's see if I can bring some windows down. Oh, we're not even building windows here. We never got window production up off the ground, so that's okay. We'll come back to Cloverdale, and we will do that here. Oh, none of these places have warehouses anymore. That's bad. What are we doing? Like, what is VB doing? VB's an idiot. Why are you watching this channel? All right, so we have 200 artisans to play with early. Now, windows really suck. Window production really sucks here. It's really hard to do. It takes a lot of artisans. It's really slow. So if we do, 200 artisans is enough for 2 window makers, and I want it to be down here with my normal production. I know for a fact we're going to end up with 4 window makers at a minimum, and so we'll do that for now. Once electricity comes in, though, it doubles the production of everything, so I don't think I'll need to put down 8. So we know we're going to want those 2 window makers, which means we need sand mines to make some glass. I think it makes perfect sense for our sand mines to kind of come over in this direction. And so we can sauce a warehouse down here. And the sand mine to glass is just 1 to 1. So yeah, 1 sand mine to 1 glass. 1 glass maker will do 2 window makers. And so that's okay. So we'll come in here. We actually just need the 1 for now. So we'll come and get a sand mine. That's all good. I can just turn it into glass right here. That's okay. So we're turning it into glass there. And then did the glass maker take artisans? Oh, the glass maker took artisans as well. Okay, so you can only get 1 window maker for now, because that's all the artisans we have. That's really annoying. But that's okay, though. We'll do that. And then before I actually upgrade any artisans, I'll let the windows start coming. Before I actually upgrade any artisans, I want to start building our little town in here, just because I want to show that off. And I want to add an element of realism into this. This is not something I normally do. I would normally just get commuter piers and whatnot, but I want to do this with you. I want to build multiple islands that are interesting. I want to build multiple cool little places, and I want Calamari Cove to feel like it has its own kind of beating heart here. So we're going to come in, and we're not going to build anything big. We're just going to chuck down a marketplace. We'll chuck down a pub, and we'll build just like a little community here for us to utilize. I like to imagine this area would have at the very least its own wood production. And now, realistically, we could come in here and we could just do all of that ourselves and just transport it from Cloverdale. But I like to think that the people in Calamari Cove would be doing their own thing. So we'll get that warehouse going. That's pretty chill. They're getting the vegetables for us. They're getting the calamari. That's all great and wonderful and cool. And then I think there'll just be like these little neighborhoods going around. Nothing crazy. Nothing too weird. But just this little set of houses. Can I... Oh, what? Whoa, how good is that? Yeah, I think this might be fine. Just enough farmers that if we want to increase the production later, we can. But it's not going to take an extraordinary amount of, you know, resources or schnapps or work clothes or anything like that. So we'll get y'all going here. And then I can actually show off as well how to calculate the timing of trade routes to trade goods, which I think might be interesting. Let's not make this look too crazy. Yeah, this is a cool little community here. So let's get our first set of workers going, or farmers. I think this is perfect. Yeah, I think this is a good amount of farmers. So let's go here. And now we can check. Oh, are you not connected via a road? Oh my God, you are not. Again, VB is not a smart dude. We'll have them do their own fish. Actually, I think it's interesting if they kind of get their own fish going.
Milestone.
And that gives us a little village here. So if we check our statistics screen, it'll say just for this island, what is it we need? We need 2 schnapps every minute. We need 1 work close every minute. And then for the fish, we're good. So 2 schnapps a minute, 1 work close every minute. Now, if we add... Oh my God, there's a steelworks fire? My goodness. If we add Cloverdale into the mix here, you can see we're no longer making enough schnapps or work close for both of these. And so we're going to have to make extra and transport them. So let's go here, make extra and transport them. I think it's a crime that I don't have a fire station here. So I got a fire station going. That'll be a problem. Let's actually just get a fire station everywhere that doesn't have one. Do I not have one in my industrial area? Oh my God. I am just literally incompetent. All right, we're coming in here. Anywhere else need a fire station? Not particularly. There's one in the farmer area, kind of. There's one in the worker area, kind of. I don't think workers give us legendary items. But what is your puzzle? Find the revolutionist. Where is the revolutionist? The revolutionist is at a school wearing a blue shirt. So here's the school. Can we find the revolutionist? Where is he? There he is. Builder's tools. Okay, well, again, not very helpful. Can we get some of those legendary items? Please, that would be better for us, I think. We're going to get 2 more sheep farms going here. We are kind of running out of farmers, but that's okay. And then we're going to get 2 more framework knitters. I feel like it's interesting that I decided to do this. I don't think this connects, does it? No, this little wall here adds the problem, and I don't think I can pass through the wall. So yeah, you're just going to need to connect here, even if it's awkward. Even if it's weird, we're just going to need to connect here and add 2 more framework knitters. So that's done there. Now we need to add some potatoes. I think for this, I'll just add 2 farms. I do want to use silos, but I think I like the look of just having more farms as well. So I'll add 2 more potato farms. That comes down here. And then for our schnapps distilleries here, I think we'll just add 2 more schnapps distilleries. So that's okay. And that's making 4, so it should be enough extra. So now if we come into our statistics screen, we have Cloverdale and Calamari Cove, and we have enough work close now and enough schnapps. Now the key is to trade the correct amount. So how do we know the correct amount to trade to keep those people happy? Okay, fire's overcome in Cloverdale. Everything back online? Not quite. That's okay. How do we know how much to trade? If we come into Calamari Cove here, we'll be able to go into our production menu. So we'll do that here. We'll be able to go into our, is it finance? Storage? Storage here, and it has the trade routes. And you can see the trade route comes roughly every 7 minutes, right? 14 minutes, 7 minutes, 1 minute. Like it's roughly the trade happens every 6 or 7 minutes. Okay. And then I come into Calamari Cove, and I know I need to do this every 7 minutes. I need, schnapps 2 every minute. So 2 by 7 is 14. We'll do 16 or 17 as like a little bit of extra. So I need roughly about 10 work close and 15 schnapps every trade to make that work. So I'll come in here, I'll go to my route, and I'm going to add in Cloverdale. You're going to pick up where, no, I don't want to do Calamari. You're going to come in here. You're going to pick up, we'll call it 18. We're making enough extra that it doesn't need to be perfect. We'll call it 18 schnapps, and we'll unload it in Calamari Cove and some work close here. We'll call that 10 work close here. And that'll be enough for the farmers we have to be satisfied. So that'll be added to the route, which is perfect. And then we have 376 farmers here, which isn't a ton, but it's a cute little village. And it'll keep us going when we need more calamari or more vegetables or more whatever. This is perfect. I love this a lot. It looks really nice. The next thing we need to do is add more artisans, if for no other reason than we want to make sure that we are getting everything going. How many? Oh, we need 40 windows for a variety theater. That's okay. I would like more window production anyway, though. So we're going to come in here and add our first few artisans, which is wonderful. We should, I don't know how much seafood stew I really do want to get here. We will do cheese instead of sausages, I think. Seafood stew, I think maybe it's time to do seafood stew for the workers and then bread for the artisans. I think might be an interesting change up here. And then we can also do a few other things. Sardines would be interesting instead of canned food. But let's start getting some of these needs taken care of. First off, I'd like to think that our artisans would appreciate some brick roads. So it's still a few bricks and a little bit of money, but I want to do a little bit of realistic planning here. I think that would be nice for them. So sausages are simple. We're just going to add cheese to the mix. So let's add cheese to the mix, and that's wonderful. Bread, I think we're going to add to our own mix here. Now, I like the seafood stew, and I think it's interesting. But I think with the trade routes, it's just a little bit... Maybe not. You know what? We've built up that other... Let's try it. Let's try the seafood stew. Let's unlock the seafood stew here and see how much... You know what? Let's just build more seafood stew. Let's just build more seafood stew. Let's double it. Let's double the amount of seafood stew. It took a lot of workers for us to do. That's okay, though. We're doubling the amount of seafood stew we're making, which means we need to go in and get more potatoes, which is fine. Now, for the potatoes, how much dung are we bringing in? Can I just up the potatoes with dung? Will that work? Yeah, I can. So we'll come in here. We'll up the potatoes with dung. And that'll give us enough potatoes, which is wonderful. Now I'll come to Calamari Cove. And I'll come in here. I think the vegetables are fine here. So let's do our thing where we add Cloverdale together. And then the vegetables were still good, but the calamari won't be. The calamari is not even close. My God, the calamari is funky, hey? So are these happy workers? I think it might make sense to come in here and actually just make this 50... Oh, minus 40 happiness of the workers on this island. So I guess that's the next problem is calamari takes workers, and we've built farmers. So that might be our next problem here is I don't know how to get more calamari here since we don't have any workers. I think that might actually scupper our plan for the seafood stew. Okay, well, our plan has been scuppered. We're going to have to do bread because I don't know how to get rid of workers. So, oh my God, why is the newspaper so bad? Riot chance I'll live with. I think we are going to have to scupper our plan here because we don't have a way to get the calamari. That's okay, though. We're going to pivot. That's all good. We'll come in and we'll do bread for the artisans instead. Do I want to do an industrial bread machine? I don't have enough windows for that at the moment. And there's no windows needed for a bakery. So let's come in here. And one flour mill is 2 bakeries. So if we plan for 4 bakeries. Now, I don't know. Is that going to work? Yeah, I think that'll... Oh, that looks nice. That's fine. 4 bakeries. We'll do 2 flour mills for those 4 bakeries. So let's start here with those. I think that'll be enough for the artisans that we have. And then we'll just need to add wheat to the mix, which is no problem. I'll come in here. I'll add 2 wheat farms. Things are getting a bit squishy up here.
I can recognize a cruel
We'll find the space. Jean Lafortune is mad at us. That's okay. I'm not too stressed about it.
Milestone.
We've reached industrial cities by... Oh, okay. So this is one of the mods from Jacob, which is awesome. Industrial cities, so we'll take a look at it. That's perfect. So we'll add that wheat farm in. Now we're short farmers. No big deal, though, because we have tons of farming area. So we'll come in here and we'll add some more farmers. All right, well, everything's happening. Before I add the farmer houses, let me just check in on the bread quickly. The bread... Oh, we have tons of bread. Oh, my God. Okay, we're making loads of bread, so that's okay. We'll do that. Now I'm going to start dotting out some more farmer houses, and I'll build out the park and add some trees and shrubbery to these areas because I want them to look nice. We've got a few more farmer houses going now, which is nice. Again, I'm trying my best to make things look, you know, at least a little bit natural, like somebody came in and the neighborhoods are built on top of each other. We know that that's not exactly how it happened, but that's okay. Do I actually like how that looks? Not really, but we'll keep it because it looks a little weird and a little funky, and we're all about being a little bit funky and a little bit weird. So that's all good. I'll add a road here. We'll bring this road in behind. And that'll be a good start for some more farmer houses. So we'll upgrade these ones. These ones here can be upgraded. Same with these ones. That's great. We'll upgrade this marketplace and this pub so people have something to interact with. Now I can kind of build out these in-between areas. For the in-between areas, I'm not going to do anything crazy. We'll just dot some newsstands around. I kind of imagine that people would like to listen to the news, so we can upgrade those, shift and upgrade all of them, which is wonderful. We'll add a couple of statues as well. Again, I'm not exactly sure where these statues would make sense specifically, but I imagine they'd like to have some statues around. So that's all good. And then, is there anything in here that's interesting? I don't want to do like just a bunch of random stuff. A pleasant park. We'll get a garden maybe to come in there. Maybe a couple of gardens. I think that looks kind of nice. So we can upgrade those 2. And then we got the memorial statues. Do a gazebo garden over here. And then a couple of fountain gardens. We know we love a fountain garden. Oh, they fit perfectly in here, hey? Everyone loves a fountain garden, so we'll do that. I still don't know if this is adding any attractiveness whatsoever. And then for now, we can come in and we can add some trees in. This isn't... Oh, some flower beds would be lovely. Yeah, so we'll add some flower beds here. I think the flower beds in these kind of one-shot areas look really, really, really nice. So we'll do that. Get some flower beds in there. I think it looks really pretty. And then we'll come in and get some poplars. And just populate the area with trees for now. It's not specifically my favorite thing, but it's something. It's something for now just to make things look a little nice. I think that looks okay. It looks greener than normal. It looks greener than my usual games, which is cool. How do these flowers look? I think the flowers look okay. I think things look fine. There's something about things that still looks a little bit off, and I think that's like now that I've decorated a little bit, it's that there are some of these blank spaces here that just need to be filled in by some greenery. Now, in this town, nature, is this countryside 817? Yeah, it's just giving us attractiveness for untouched land, which will obviously go down as we start building on more and more land. I don't know exactly what I want to put in this park here. Maybe I was a bit over zealous with how big I wanted this park to be, but I think that's okay for now. We're back to having 255 farmers, which is wonderful. Farmers are easy to keep happy, though, so let's just double check our schnapps and our bread. So we're making enough work clothes and enough schnapps, and that's also enough to trade with the other island, so we're still good. Now that we're doing this, though, we have to remember that we have another island relying on those supplies, and so I think that's okay. And then for a fishery, again, eventually we're just going to need a different fishery, but I think for now this works out just fine. We also have more artisans now, remember, so we can get our window maker online. 2 window makers, better than 1 window maker. And yeah, we still only have 22 windows. It's been, I don't know how long in the video, but I've been playing for about 45 minutes now. The bread is coming in hot. Are we missing anything for the bread? Nope, it's just taking a minute for that to click in, so that's fine. The next thing we need is canned food. Now, canned food is easily the worst production in the game. I hate it so much, and this mod provides an opportunity to do something different and get sardines. The problem is, I don't think sardines are unlocked. Oh, they are unlocked yet. Okay. So what do we need for sardines? Fish is nice and easy. We can get the fish here. Those are probably the sardines. Iron is also nice and easy. We can get the iron here. Olives is less nice and easy. We cannot get the olives here. Now, can we get the olives in Calamari Cove? We can get the olives in Calamari Cove, so we're going to try, instead of doing canned food, to do sardines. So if we go to canned food, each canned food takes 1 per minute. So if we take 1 per minute, that's fine. We'll put the canned food. Where in the industrial area do we want the canned food? It's kind of iron working-ish, so we'll just go down here. Let's add the canned food. It's 150 artisans for the canned food. So we'll do that. From here, I can sort out the iron and the olive pretty easily. So for the iron, I can just add an iron mine, right? We have iron deposits. We're just going to add an iron mine. It's not going to be long now until we're working all of these anyway. So that's all good. We'll just add the iron mine. That's easy. For fish, I can just add fisheries. That's also easy. I'm kind of done adding them over here, I think. I think I'll just come and add a couple of fisheries over in this direction where the sand mines go. And it's fine for now. It's not my favorite thing ever, but I think it'll work. That's fine. We've taken care of the fish. We've taken care of the iron. Now we need to take care of the olives, which we can do in Calamari Cove. Now that we've built 470 farmers. How cute, how quaint, how wonderful, how lovely. We'll come in here and we'll go to our sardines. And we need 40 workers for the olive oil press, which is 2 olive groves. So 2 olive groves equals 1 olive oil press. So that's fine. Let's get it. How much is an olive grove? What's involved with an olive grove here? So it works just like a farm. Has 75. Okay, so this doesn't even take up a lot of space. That's all good. Calamari Cove is becoming quite a cute little village, hey? So let's do that. 2 olive groves here, which is wonderful. We can upgrade you. We have the bricks. Why not? 2 olive groves here should equal 1 on the other side. However, to do that, we actually need to bring the olives. And so we'll come in here and we'll come into the natural goods and we'll get the olives and we'll bring them over. So that's wonderful. We're still using the 1 boat, which is nice. Eventually the trade routes will be a lot more complicated, but for now that's all good. And then we just need 1 olive oil press. So the 1 olive oil press will actually make 2 fish canneries, right? So we're going to have a surplus of olive oil for a little bit. The olive oil press, I'll just put it next to it. I want to keep similar things together. So that olive oil press is going. And now we just need to make sure everything is fine. We know we have enough olive oil. So that's all good. The fish is good now, and the iron is also good. We're actually surplus in both, so that's fine. And then, sorry, I need to go back. I really need to stop being in this screen so much, but let's go to the sardines. And now we're making, yeah, enough sardines, so that's wonderful. Once the sardines come in, we'll kick that in instead of canned food, and that'll be lovely. And then sewing machines. Sewing machines are nice and easy. We love sewing machines. They're really, really simple for us to make, so we'll do that. Sewing machines are also going to be the first thing we put in our Docklands, which is something you might not know about yet. I'm going to upgrade a few more artisans. That's wonderful. So that's fine there. We'll come in and do that. And then sewing machines are really simple. So we're going to need more iron for sewing machines. So we'll come in here and we'll come to our furnace. We actually need more wood. We're out of wood, which is interesting. We're making one large furnace now. So we'll add another one because we're just going to need more steel for that. So that's okay. To do that, we're just going to need more iron and more coal. So I'll get another iron deposit going. Is there another good one? Oh, there's one right up here. Coal deposit, iron deposit. Iron deposit. I think it's pretty cool if this iron deposit and this coal deposit kind of come up here by the houses. What's a little bit awkward is now we're going to have a surplus of iron. That's a little bit unnecessary, but that's okay. We'll do the iron. We'll do the coal. That's perfect. And then sewing machines are wonderful because they only take wood and iron bars. So we'll come into artisans. We're going to be, I can't even emphasize enough to you how many sewing machine factories we're going to be making eventually. So we have the iron. That's great. We have the wood. That's so easy for us to get. So we'll chuck down 2 sewing machine factories. They each take 150 artisans. So maybe we'll chuck in 1 sewing machine factory for now because we don't quite have the artisans for it yet, but that's great. And now we just need to check on our timber production and make sure that's all good. It's not quite, which is a little bit awkward. We can't bring it in with the Docklands just yet, so we are going to have to build a little area for that. And then for that, I think I can just make a little bridge here. We're not doing much else with this island for now. We're officially a city, which is really nice. So we'll come in here, build a warehouse, get some more wood going. Everything feels great. And that'll keep everyone happy. So those sewing machines are coming in. We're going to be building a ton more sewing machines soon. The window makers are also pretty clutch. Once we get more artisans in, I do want to make more window makers because we're just going to need so many windows and it's going to be next to impossible for us to figure that out. Next up, we have the canned food will be coming in fine. The sewing machines are coming in right now, which is great. That's going to give us more artisans and more coins. Canned food is going to be done. So fur coats is next on our list in addition to rum. So we need to start bringing rum up from the New World. So we'll head over to Manola and start getting the rum production going.
My nietos are growing strong.
We're not going to do anything with the hacienda just yet, although that will be on the docket shortly. But for the rum, you just need wood, sugarcane, and then a rum distillery. So 1 sugarcane plantation is 1 rum distillery. I reckon 6 will be fine for now. So let's create an area here where we can put 6 sugarcane farms. So we'll do that. We'll place this down. Once we get the hacienda, these farms will take up a lot less space. But for now, they're just going to take up a lot of space, which is okay. It's not my favorite thing ever, but alas, we can't have what we want in the world. There you go. That's 6 sugarcane plantations going in, which is great. So we'll add a warehouse to them so they don't go absolutely crazy. Let's add a warehouse on either, and I'll just put the rum distilleries in here as well. That's done and dusted, which is wonderful. Or they all got 128. This is good. And then for the rum distilleries, yeah, we just need 30, so this would be an easy 6. Perfect. Does that look a little funky? Yeah. Does it look like someone just placed these randomly? Hell yeah. Is it going to work for us, though? Probably. There we go. And then we got our rum distillery underway. Sugarcane plantation down. Rum coming through. People in the New World can get super drunk. We need more wood, though. That's fine. We'll add the wood in a second. We're making 12 rum. We need 3 here. And in Cloverdale, we need 5. And so we can get quite a bit of rum going. It is time for another trade route. Before we do that, though, just getting one of these super inhumane lumberjack camps going again. These level 2 ones that just produce like 1,000,000 wood a minute. That'll cover everything we need for this rum. It is time for trade route numero dos. I want to make sure we're always leaving enough rum here for the people to drink, even if we mess up the trade route. So we'll leave 30 rum here. Once we make 30 rum, that'll be the minimum stock. And then for now, I'm just going to take everything else to Cloverdale so we have a back stock. So we'll come in here with our Sea Eagle. We will create a trade route. We're going to create a new group because this will be a new group here. We're just going to call this one rum. This one will probably do rum and coffee to start, but that's okay. We're going to start at Manola, and then we're going to go to Crown Falls, Cloverdale. We are going to grab the rum. Now, I'm not going to time it out because it's going to leave 30. We set a minimum stock of 30. It's never going to take that. It's always going to leave 30 for the people in Manola to have. So everything else can just go to Cloverdale. So we'll do that. I'll just shift this across. I probably don't need 2 is probably fine for now. That's all good. The Sea Eagle's going. That's great. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to name these groups. This group is going to be for routes that are only in Cape Trelawney. So, Trelawney. So that'll be anything in Cape Trelawney, Crown Falls, Cloverdale area. That's all good there. And this is New World to Cape Trelawney. So any route that goes from the New World to Cape Trelawney, or the Cape Trelawney to the New World, goes in here. You see how that works? So the rum route is going to take a second because this needs to get up to 30 before it'll even start taking rum to Cape Trelawney. So let's check in here for some items. A legendary item for airships is not ideal because we don't have airships and we're not going to have airships for a hot minute. And so that's not overly helpful. I'll reroll once or twice. Equipped in a trade union, Steelworks. Productivity plus 30% for the Steelworks is actually quite good. I'll buy that one. That's all good. I'll do one more reroll. 260 artisanal kitchen and fish cannery. Productivity plus 40%. Instead of the workforce, it uses... Oh, yeah, we'll take this. That's super cool. It uses workers instead of artisans for that, which is great. And then we have enough for this guy. Old World Residences, plus 7 happiness. And then the artisans in the area don't even need the variety theater. That's pretty funny. I think I'll leave it, though. Bonus income for the generous innkeeper. Residences with the pub need fulfilled are provided with the church. I don't think that's super necessary. I think we'll take you, though, to Cloverdale, because I think we can use this in the fish cannery, where we're making sardines, and then that'll be extra production, which is great, but it'll use workers and save us on some artisans.
A new milestone.
We've reached a new milestone, which is terraced houses. That's something we're not going to interact with for a little while yet, but it's something I am interested in. We are reaching our kind of production surplus of bricks here. Now I have 2 options. I can build the variety theater with the amount of windows we have. I don't really want to do that though. Corbus, why is... Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry. The plague has come. COVID's here. Hospital. Let's get a hospital going. Do I have enough? I can't. We need 40 windows for the hospital. Everyone in Corbusero is just gonna have to die, and I'm sorry. I can't fix it. Corbusero, I'm sorry. I'm the worst leader ever. A good leader knows when some of the people just kind of have to die for the greater good. Unfortunately, the rum is gonna come in and give us more money, which is great. The fish cans aren't even in yet. That's gonna give us even more artisans, so that's okay. So that's fine. The next thing left to do is to build the Docklands here. So let's get the Docklands going. Where do I want the Docklands to go? Is this a good spot for the Docklands?
From its voyage.
I wonder if this is even a better spot for the Docklands, honestly. There's a lot going on there. But I think we'll go here for now. I think this is an okay spot for the Docklands, and we'll just move these cannon towers out of the way. These cannon towers aren't strictly necessary, but it's just good to have people second guess whether they want to attack us. But let's get the Docklands going right now. So the Docklands are a harbor area kind of module here that's going to give us a lot to play with in terms of how we play this game, okay? So we're going to come in here, and every time we upgrade the Docklands or we upgrade export-import contracts, it'll give us more things we can build. Now, these things take a lot of resources, so we don't have yet the steel or the bricks or whatever to accommodate all this, but the main thing we're going to be able to do is actually make trades, and this is where I was referencing the... sewing machines earlier, because that's going to be the first thing we really hammer into and trade. So if we come in here and we take something we have, right? So let's say we have a lot of soap. So we have 194 soap, right? And so we have extra soap. We're making extra soap. And let's say the amount of potato farms I have kind of sucks. Or I can't get the calamari that I want because I don't have enough workers on the other end. Maybe I want to import calamari. Whatever it is, I put what I want in here. and then it'll trade 50 soap for 166 potatoes. So maybe I don't want to build more potato farms. Instead, I want to get my potatoes in through the Docklands. I can do that. So basically, we're exporting things we have a lot of to import things. As we go along, I'll explain how the Docklands evolves, but that's the basic thing we are trying to do. And so now we know that we want sewing machines to be on the Docklands right away. So let's see if we can trade any sewing machines. We currently aren't making a massive surplus, so we can't really trade any sewing machines. Is there anything we're making a massive surplus of that we can trade pretty easily just to get things going? We're making nowhere near enough bread now, which is a separate problem. So we'll come in. Good thing I noticed. We're coming in. We're making more bread. Everything's good, artisans. Don't worry. The bread is coming in hot. Everything's good. We're going to turn on the canned food. I realize now that the problem with the canned food isn't that it wasn't working. It's that we didn't actually turn it on. So now that we have the fish cannery, that should be going a lot better. That's going to give us more artisans, which is great. Let's come into the Docklands. I do want to try trading sewing machines early on. So I'm going to build another sewing machine factory.
I had better leave it to...
I'm building another sewing machine factory. We should have enough iron for that. So it's just a matter of whether we have enough wood. The iron is completely fine now. The wood, let's check here. The wood is barely, it's not great, but we can just come in here and change it like this. Yeah, we'll just change it. That's fine. So now we're making more sewing machines. Now, the way you calculate the Docklands is pretty simple. For now, anyway. It gets a little more complicated with loading times later. We are making 4 sewing machines per minute, but we're only using 1. That leaves us 3 extra sewing machines per minute. The Docklands comes every 20 minutes. So this is roughly 60 sewing machines that we have. It's not a perfect mathematical thing, but if I come into the sewing machines here and I set them up, I'll be able to trade roughly 60 sewing machines. Now, I don't know exactly what we want to bring in, but we can make some guesses here. Wheat is a little bit difficult to bring in. It does have a big cost to it, right? So every sewing machine is only going to give us 4 wheat, but potatoes is a much better value, right? 1 sewing machine is going to give us 13 potatoes. So I think I'm going to start by getting rid of some of our pigs is also pretty good. We can get rid of our pig farms pretty easily. I think I might want to get rid of our pig farms pretty easily, to be honest, because the pig farms have a negative pollution, don't they?
People celebrate
And we got a
your
festival
leadership.
going. Bonus income, hell yeah. And attractiveness and happiness. Okay, let's see what we have going on here for our pollution. So for the pollution, steelworks, weapon factory, large furnace. Those are things we'll all get rid of eventually. Vulgarity, yeah, pig farms, the fertilizer silos. They really hate a fertilizer silo. The soap factories aren't ideal either. I think, but the potato farms aren't causing us any problem. And so I think we'll start bringing in pigs. So let's see what we can do for the pigs here. So every time that we trade, right, we upgrade these items. So if we trade sewing machines, once we trade 1,000 sewing machines, we'll upgrade it to green, and that'll give us a little more per sewing machine. It makes it more valuable. Then once we trade 2,500 or whatever, it'll go to blue. And so we want to get, some of these items. So I want to trade as many sewing machines as possible just to get these item unlocked here. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out how many pigs we're using. I'm sorry I'm spending so much time in this screen, but it literally just kind of is the game. So we're using 4 pigs a minute, every 20 minutes, roughly 80 pigs is what we're going to want to bring in. So let's say I want to bring in 100 pigs, and that'll only be 10 sewing machines. So I can literally just use our sewing machines and never build a pig farm again, which is wonderful. So now we have to wait for that to happen. Do we have a surplus of pigs? How big is our surplus? If we have a lot of pigs in storage, I'll just delete them now, and that'll feel really good. We only have 8 in storage, so we don't have enough. We are going to have to wait for that to actually come in before we do that. But once that trade is made, which will happen in 8 minutes and 40 seconds of game time, we'll be able to delete every single one of our pig farms, which is incredible. Bomb bins run out. There was never any bomb bins. Like, why are you lying to the people? They have not run out. They were never here, my dude. The next thing I want to do is I want to get a shipyard built. I want to start building more ships here. So let's come here and let's get our Imperio shipyard going. Where do we find that again? We found it here. We have sails, we have weapons, we have cannons. We're going to build the Imperio shipyard. That feels pretty good. Can I build 2 of them? It's 150 workers. I'm going to try and build 2 of them because I might want to build 2 ships at a time. Now, these workers are only used if we're actively building ships. Here, I'm going to build another clipper because we're going to need a lot of trading boats coming up shortly. Now, everybody, here's where things get interesting. I want to build a couple of these frigates, a bait ship here. These frigates will keep the AI off our back. It'll give us a chance to pillage some pirate ships eventually. I also want to build one of these Britannia class airships. Now, I want to be clear about something here. These airships are super cheaty if I build them here. I've used them in another gameplay. This Britannia class airship is absolutely nuts. So here's what I'm going to say. One of the things that I have up against me in doing this kind of game is that by the time we get to the end, it'll be hundreds of hours of my life, right? And if I can save time recording it, if I can save time editing it, if I can save time, we'll be able to get through the game a lot faster. However, I don't want it to come at the cost of making the game just too easy. So I'm going to build one of these Britannia class airships, but here are the only things I can use it for. Until I actually unlock the functionality realistically, like I have the airship platform, I'm building my own airships, I have the helium, I have everything. Before that happens, I'm only allowed to use this to either move materials, so construction materials, so bricks, steel, wood, windows, concrete between islands just to build things up more quickly, or to get items from shops, right? That is the only thing. I'm not allowed to use it to move rum around or coffee or any trading items, or sorry, any trading actual goods, only construction materials and items, just because that takes forever to send the ships around. This thing travels so quickly. So we are going to build one of them. We're going to build a clipper. It costs 8 influence, so we're at the point where the ships are starting to cost influence, which is totally fine. Now, the next thing we need for artisans is fur coats. I have the option of coming in here and building suits instead, which is a little bit interesting to me, but I think we'll keep this one as normal. So I think we'll build the fur coats because I don't want to make the game, again, I don't want to make the game a little too easy, and so I do want to have to rely on the cotton trade from the New World a little bit here. So we know we're going to get some fur coats, and we need a few different things going on for these fur coats. So yeah, I'm going to need at least 2 fur dealers at some point here. So we'll get the fur dealers in. We need cotton from the New World and fur from the Old World. That fur is going to come from Calamari Cove, which is becoming a more and more crazy good island for us. There's not a ton of room for the hunting cabins, but we'll make it work. I think, though, what'll happen is that we'll do in the next episode. In the next episode, we'll get our first trade in with the Docklands. We'll get our fur coats going. We'll set up cotton production in the New World. Maybe we'll find some items with our Britannia class ship. If you enjoyed this episode of Anno 1800, please let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know how you think the game's going. Let me know things you want me to do, things you don't want me to do, etc. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.